Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tutelage, a guide to economics. Hope you are doing great. Here, this is Shripana. In my last session, we have already discussed a lot of things from the concept of elasticity, which includes the determinants of price, elasticity of demand, and their importance, and another most important type of elasticity of demand, that is income elasticity of demand, and their types and their graphical representation also. Today we will explain another part of elasticity, which includes cross price elasticity and their importance and their graphical representations. So if you have missed my last sessions, then you can go my description box and my first comment where the previous session link is already shared. So learner, let's check what we will explain for today's session and moving on the next slide. Here, this is the next slide, and we can see there are some subtopics for today's session. The first concept is cross price elasticity of demand. The second one is concept of complements and the substitute goods. And third concept, that is importance of cross price elasticity of demand and their graphical representations. So time is too precious because that's why do not waste time. So let's start today's session and go to my next slide. So here this is the new slide and where we can see the cross price elasticity of demand, and this is the last type of elasticity of demand. So do you have any idea, learner, what do you mean by a cross price elasticity of demand? So cross price elasticity of demand is a degree of responsiveness in quantity demanded for one good due to change in price of the other related products. So here cross price elasticity of demand indicates the change in other price product. Clear? Not the change in price of the own product. Okay, so now going to the formula. Here the cross price for elasticity of demand equals to the same thing, percentage change in quantity demanded of X good, because there are two goods. Okay, X good and Y goods. So first, percentage change in quantity demanded for X good divided by percentage change in price of another good, that is indicated by Y. Clear? So and cross price elasticity of demand is indicated by the XED, and this is the final formula. So how it will come? So the explanation is percentage change in quantity demanded of X good means delta QX divided by QX1, okay, divided by percentage change in price of other good, or Y. That means divided by delta PY divided by PY1 into 100, because percentage. Clear? So 100 cancel out, so rest is delta QX1 divided by QX1 into PY1 divided by delta PY. Clear? So now we can write delta X1 P1, delta X1 divided by delta P into P1 by QX1. Clear? So now we are going to the next slide. Here we can see types of cross price elasticity of demand, and we can see there are three types of cross price elasticity. The first one is the positive cross price elasticity of demand. second one is negative, and third one is 0. So now we are going to the explanation for the positive, 0 and negative thing. So now we are going to the next slide. Here, this is the next slide where we can see the types of cross price elasticity, and in my previous slide we have already told that cross price elasticity is of three types. The first one is positive cross price elasticity, second one is negative cross price elasticity, and third one is zero cross price elasticity. So at first we have to explain the positive cross price elasticity. So positive cross price elasticity is associated with the substitute goods. So for example, soda and other drinks are substitute to each other. Clear? So price of soda increases, the increase in the quantity demanded of other drinks also, because both goods are substitute to each other. Now we are going to the next type, that is negative cross price elasticity. So negative cross price elasticity is associated with the complements goods. So gas and SUVs are the complement, are two goods which are complements to each other. So price of gas increases, the amount of quantity demanded of large SUVs will decrease, because both goods are complementary to each other. Clear? So now we are going to the third type, that is zero cross price elasticity. So zero cross price elasticity indicates basically a unrelated goods. Okay, for example, butter and petrol, both goods are unrelated to each other, and this is known as zero cross price elasticity, and unrelated products are indicates, so these unrelated products are indicate the zero cross price elasticity. Now we are going to the next slide. Here we have to explain what do you mean by a substitute goods and what do you mean by a complements goods. We have already told positive cross price elasticity is associated with the substitute goods, and negative cross price elasticity is associated with the complements goods. But do you have any idea, learner, what do you mean by a substitute and complements? No. So substitute goods refers to the goods which can be used in place of one another to satisfy the particular want. For example, soda and other drink. So both can be used in place of one another to satisfy our particular want, satisfy our particular thirstiness. Clear? Now we are going to the next good, that is complements goods. So complements goods refers to those goods which are consumed together to satisfy a particular want, because gas and large SUV both are consumed together to satisfy our particular want. I think it is clear to everyone. Now we are going to the next. So here this is the example of the substitute goods and the complementary goods. Okay, so so different brands and models. So soda and cold drink both are different brands. Okay, so that's why these two are known as substitute goods. For substitute goods, cross price elasticity. So cross price elasticity is associated with the positive cross price elasticity. So for substitute goods, cross price elasticity is greater than 1, and car and tires both are complementary to each other because both are consumed together for satisfy our particular want. Okay, so we have already told that negative cross price elasticity is associated with the complements goods, and that's why XCD, that means cross price elasticity less than 0 for the complements goods. Clear? So now move on to the next. Here, this is the next slide for understanding the substitute and complement good. Okay, so for substitute goods, here we can see when increase in price of X commodity, that is indicated by PX. Okay, so when increase in price PX, so then increases the quantity demanded for good Y, because X and Y both are substitute to each other, and when decrease in price PX, so decreases quantity demanded for the good or commodity Y. Okay, so now we are going to the complements goods. So when increase in price of X commodity increases, it indicates the quantity demanded for good Y will decrease, because X and Y both are complementary to each other and both are consumed together for satisfying our particular want. Clear? Now going to the next part, that is when decrease in price of X commodity, so then decreases quantity demanded for good Y also. So we have already told what do you mean by a substitute goods and complementary goods, and what are the example of these two. So I think it is clear to everyone. So now we will move on the next slide. So here this is the next slide where we can see the graphical representation for substitute goods. Okay, so we can see substitute good is of two types. First one is closed substitute goods and second one is weak substitute goods, and weak substitute goods is indicated by the blue color and the closed substitute goods is indicated by the yellow color for easy understanding. Clear? So now we will explain the whole graph. Okay, so here we can see not income, this is the price level. Okay, price level is measured in the vertical axis and quantity demanded is measured in the horizontal axis, and D2 is the closed substitute goods demand curve. Clear? So at P1 the quantity demanded is Q1, and when price level increases from P1 to P2, then quantity demanded will increase from Q1 to Q2. But change in price level is less than the change in quantity demanded level, because quantity demanded level is greater than the price level. That is the basic differences between the closed substitute and weak substitutes goods demand curve. So D2 is the closed substitute goods demand curve, and small rise in price. Here we can see small rise in price, price of X indicates the large increase in quantity demanded for Y. Clear? From the graphical representations, now we are going to the next, that is weak substitute goods. So D1 is a weak substitute goods. So here large increase in price of X causes the small increase in demand for good Y. So at first situation at P3 quantity demanded is Q3, and when price level increases from P3 to P4, so quantity demanded will increase from Q3 to Q4, but change in quantity demanded is less than change in price. So that means large increase in price of X causes small increase in demand for Y. So it indicates the demand curve for weak substitute goods. I think it is clear from the graphical representation also. So now we are going to the next slide. Here this is the another graphical representation for the complementary goods, and again we can see there are two two types of complementary goods. The first one is weak complement goods and second one is strong complement goods. And strong complement goods is indicated by the yellow color and weak one is indicated by the blue color. So D1 is the weak complements goods. So at D1 at first we have to explain the weak complements goods. Okay, so at P3 quantity demanded is Q3, and when price level increases from P3 to P4, so quantity demanded will decrease from Q3 to Q4. So here we can see large increase in price of X causes the small decrease in demand for Y. So I think it is proved from the graph. Now we are going to the next one, that is strong complements goods. So D2 is indicated by the yellow color demand curve, and it is the demand curve for the strong complements goods. And here we can see the small rise in price of X leads to large increase in quantity demanded for Y product. So at P1 quantity demanded is Q1, and when price level increases from P1 to P2, now quantity demanded, so amount of quantity demanded for the strong complements goods will decrease from Q1 to Q2. So that means we can see here small rise in price leads large increase in quantity demanded for the particular product, that is Y. And again it is proved from the graphical representation also. So now we are moving to the next slide. So here this is the next slide, and where we can see the importance of the cross price elasticity of demand, which is very similar to the other types of elasticity of demand, that is income elasticity of demand and the price elasticity of demand also. So here we can see the cross price elasticity of demand helps in changing price of the products having substitute and complements goods, because cross price elasticity of demand is related to the substitute and complements goods. Now we are going to the next thing. It also helps in demand forecasting when price level changes from the previous situation and all. Now going to the third importance, that is cross price elasticity helps in measuring interdependence of the price of the goods, because substitute goods and the complementary goods and both goods are interdependent to each other. So it obviously helps in measuring the interdependence of price of the product. And last but not the least, cross price elasticity, multi-product firm use cross price elasticity to measure the effect of change in price of product on the demand of other product, because in this case there are two products. First one is a substitute goods and second one is the complements goods, and multi-product firm uses two or more than two types of product. So that's why they use cross price elasticity of demand to measure what is the effect of the change in price of one product on the demand of and on the amount of quantity demanded of other product also. So I think it is clear to everyone. So learner, that's all for today's session. In this session we have already discussed the cross price elasticity of demand, the concept of substitute and the complements goods, and the importance and their graphical representation of the cross price elasticity of demand. In my next session we will explain the another part of elasticity, which includes the elasticity of supply. Okay, so if you have any query, questions, doubt which arises in your mind, so please feel free to ask and I will come back with a new session. Till then stay tuned, but not the least, please like, share, comment on the videos and do more subscribe to my channel. Thank you.